他怎么样来带领摩西？
How he helped Moses in the past.
他今天要怎样来带领你？
Today, he will do the same for you.
我到南京去读神学院。
I have studied theology in Nanjing.
南京是蛮奇怪的一个城市。
It is a strange city.
这个城市蛮有特点。
It has some very special characteristics.
这个城市的特点就是没有特点。
The special characteristic of Nanjing is that it has no special characteristics.
你去上海，你可以看到蛮时髦、蛮现代。
If you go to Shanghai, you will see that it is quite modern and fashionable.
你在北京，你可以看到很庄严，你可以看到很严肃。
If you go to Beijing, you will see the grandeur of these ancient palaces.
你到广州可以看到蛮有活力。
If you go to Guangzhou, you see a lot of life and energy.
但是你到南京就发现这里有一点点像北京，有一点点像上海，有一点点像广州。
If you go to Nanjing, you'll find that it looks a little bit like Beijing, it looks a little bit like Shanghai, and it looks a little bit like Guangzhou.
所以我到那边最不让我习惯的事情就是吃饭。
The most difficult problem I have was the food in Nanjing.
因为这里的菜有一点点像广东菜，有一点点像上海菜，有一点点像北京菜。
Because the food here looks a little bit like the South, and a little bit like Shanghai, and a little bit like Beijing.
有一天，
One day,
有一个人来找我，
a man came in search of me.
是教会里的传道人。
He is a preacher from a church.
他很体恤我的软弱，
He feels my weakness.
所以他来跟我讲。
So he came to speak to me.
他说：“今天晚上我请你吃饭。
Tonight I'm going to take you for a meal. ”
这是一个大喜的信息，
It is a great and wonderful news to me.
因为我盼这个邀请已经盼了几个月，
Because I have wished for someone to take me out for dinner for many months.
所以我就忘了客气了。
So I forgot to become polite.
我说好啊，
I said, okay, good.
他就很自信，
So he was very
因
happy.
为你要知道中国人传统都要有几个来回的。
Well, he was very surprised because, you know, as China's tradition, we usually exchange some politeness a few times before people would say yes to
总要
gesture.
先有几个回合推手，要来几下才可以。
As being Chinese, we like to push back a little bit, a few times, a few rounds before we actually get to the point.
但是那天我说好，
But that day I told him, yes, sure, let's go.
所以他就像拳头打空了一样，
He felt like he has punched into air,
愣了半天。
and he was shocked.
哦，他说好，那我们约几点钟？
He said, oh, okay, let's see, what time should we go?
我说那你说几点钟？
I said, you tell me.
他说你们晚上厨房这个食堂里面吃饭几点钟？
He asked me, what time do you eat in your cafeteria?
我说我们吃饭是5点钟。
I said, we eat at 5 p.m.
他说那我也就5点钟来，
So I will come at 5 p.m.
免得你饿过头。
so that you would not get hungry. I said, okay.
他就最后跟我分手的时候讲了一句话，
And before he left, he said something.
让我心里觉得很温暖。
It really warmed my heart.
他说不见不散。
He said, we will not separate until we meet
下午5点钟，
at 5 p.m.
所以下午上课的时候，我就一直在想点什么菜好。
So I was thinking to myself, what should I order in this restaurant?
好不容易等到这个机会，
I have waited for this opportunity for a long time.
你要知道，你越想肚子饿得越快。
As you know, if you think about food, your stomach become hungry faster.
所以到4点半的时候已经是到极限。
So at 4:30, I was at my peak tolerance for food.
4点50分，食堂里面打铃吃饭。
At 4:50, the cafeteria in my school has rang the bell to signal us to go for food.
在中国上过学校的人都知道，那是冲锋的时候。
Everybody that studies in a school in China knows that that is the time when you run and you rush.
刘翔跑那么快，可能就是因为冲锋练得多。
The famous athlete Liu Xiang, he can run so fast, probably because you've been responding to this bell.
平常我也跑得蛮快的，
Normally, I run very fast when I hear that bell.
但是那天我很悠闲，
But that day, I was relaxed.
所以很多同学看见我就很奇怪，
So I looked at my friends and I feel strange.
他说你不去吃饭吗？
Well, someone asked me, aren't you going to eat?
你没听到铃声吗？
Did you not hear the bell?
你怎么不拿餐具，不拿饭盒？
Why didn't you carry your little bowl and your spoon?
我就笑笑，
I smiled.
我说我今天不吃这里的饭。
Today I'm not eating the food from this place.
我想你们冲锋吧，你们抢去吧。
You guys go ahead.
我可以吃很好吃的。
Because I will be eating much better food.
所以我就5点钟不到，我就在大门口等他。
So before 5, I stood outside the door, the gate, to wait for this
说不定人
pastor.
家早点到呢。
Perhaps he would be early.
4点54我就到门口等，
I was there at 4:55.
满怀期待，
I was full of anticipation.
望眼欲穿。
I was looking far
5点钟
at 5.
没有人来，
No one showed up.
5点10分
5:10.
还是没有人来，
Still no one.
5点20分
5:20.
还是没有人来。
There's still no one.
我等的那一个人他总是不来，
The one person I was waiting for did not show up.
里面的人打着饱嗝出来，
The people, my friends, have now walked out from the
那
cafeteria
个
with
问我为什么不去吃
satisfaction.
饭的人他出来了，
The friend that asked me, why did you go and eat, came out.
他看见我说
He looked at me.
你还没吃，
You haven't eaten yet?
我无话可说，
I have nothing to say.
我就想我走吧，
I said, I'll walk away.
等了20分钟了，
I waited 20 minutes.
今天被人放鸽子了，
Today I have been left out to dry, hang out to
但是
dry.
想想又不行，
Then I thought to myself, no,
因
I
为他
cannot
告
do
诉
that.
我说，
But
因为
he
因为
said,
他告诉我，
before he left, he said
因为他
one
爱
word.
我，
He promised
因
me.
为他给我一个承诺，
He gave me a promise.
因为他对我说不见不散。
He told me that we shall not leave the meeting place unless we meet each other.
什么叫不见不散？
What does it mean?
我如果没有看见他，我就不能走。
That phrase means in Chinese that if I don't see him, I cannot leave the designated meeting place.
那我就只能等，
So all I can do is to wait.
等到5点半。
It's 5:30.
好，骑着自行车，
Then
骑着自行车，
I saw a bicycle.
满头大汗，
This man was riding on a bicycle.
连
He
滚
was
带爬的，
He was rushing with his bicycle.
看见我说
He saw me.
啊，不好意思，不好意思，
I'm so sorry.
我想我已经不饿了。
I said, I'm not hungry anymore.